The sun glistened on the leaves as Peter hopped through the woods, humming a tune he made up on the spot. He was feeling unstoppable until Benjamin suddenly came skidding down the hill toward him, eyes wide and ears shaking with worry. "Peter, the vegetable garden, it's changing. Mr. McGregor has doubled the fences and set new traps everywhere." Peter's ears drooped. This was not part of the plan, but he swallowed hard and squared his shoulders. "We've come this far. We can't turn back now. If the garden's changing, then so must we." His words weren't just for Benjamin. They were for the viewers following them on this adventure. Peter needed them to feel that spark that comes when a challenge appears, and the determination to face it anyway. Together, the two crept toward the garden. The familiar gate now had metal wire running across the bottom, and a big new sign hung above, "No rabbits allowed." Benjamin whispered, "Maybe this is a bad idea." But Peter shook his head. Every great story needs a turning point. This is ours. They studied the layout, found a loose board at the back fence, and silently squeezed through. Their paws touched the soil of the garden like explorers stepping onto new land. Rows of vegetables stretched in every direction, shining like treasure in the morning sun. Just as they filled their first basket with carrots, they heard a loud click. A trap snapped shut behind them. Benjamin gasped. "We're caught." Peter's heart thumped. The viewers watching would feel the tension now, the kind that pulls you closer to see what happens next. But Peter wasn't giving up. He scanned the ground, spotted a loose gear in the trap mechanism, and quickly jammed a pebble into it. The trap snapped open again. Benjamin looked at him with wide eyes. "How did you?" Peter grinned. "You think I've been sneaking into this garden for nothing?" They laughed quietly and moved deeper in, harvesting turnips, cabbages, and leaves of lettuce. But the danger grew with every step. Mr. McGregor's footsteps crunched closer, Rose shaking as he moved. Peter motioned Benjamin to stay low. The tension rose like a tightening drum beat, and anyone watching would lean forward in their seat, waiting to see if they'd make it out unseen. Just as Mr. McGregor turned toward them, Peter whispered, "Now," and they dashed for the fence, vegetables bouncing in their little baskets. With one last leap, they dived through the loose board and rolled into the tall grass outside. Benjamin panted. "That was too close." Peter smiled. "It's only the beginning." Back at their shared burrow, they sorted the vegetables, bright, colorful, and hard-earned. But the celebration was short-lived. They overheard Mrs. Rabbit talking to Cottontail and Flopsy about the struggling animals across the woods. Some families hadn't eaten well in days. Food had become harder to find, and many were losing hope. Peter felt something heavy drop into his chest. Benjamin looked at him, understanding without needing words. Their big haul wasn't just prize, it was opportunity. "We can't keep all this to ourselves," Peter said softly. "Others need it more." It wasn't easy. They had worked for every leaf and root. But they carried the baskets across the forest, going home by home. Badgers, squirrels, hedgehogs, mice, sharing what they had gathered. Every animal's face lit up with relief and gratitude. The viewers would feel the warmth of the moment, the tenderness behind Peter's brave exterior, but they saved the hardest delivery for last. Teasel, the old hedgehog, was too sick to leave her nest. Her house was cold, her cupboards nearly empty. When Peter and Benjamin stepped inside, she tried to smile, but her voice shook from weakness. Peter placed a small, perfect carrot in her paws. "I hope this helps." Tears filled her eyes. "You brave little rabbits, you've done more than you know." Benjamin wiped his eyes. Peter looked away, swallowing emotions that were harder to face than any trap in Mr. McGregor's garden. When they finally returned home, their baskets empty but their hearts full, Peter sat quietly outside the burrow and looked toward the distant garden. The viewers watching would feel this moment, the pause between triumph and reflection that he whispered, "A real victory isn't just what you take, it's what you give." That night, the stars glimmered over the treetops, and Peter felt changed. The adventure had begun as a hunt for vegetables, but it became something else, something lasting. He had faced danger, chosen kindness, and learned that courage wasn't shown by sneaking into a garden, but by sharing your harvest when others need it more. And to everyone watching, he silently hoped they'd take that message with them long after the video ended. Sometimes the world is full of fences, traps, and signs telling you what you can't do. But if you stay brave, stay kind, and keep hopping forward, there will always be a way through, and someone waiting on the other side who needs what only you can bring.